episode, we're going to learn about plant organs. Plants come in all different shapes and sizes, but they all have several structural features in common like this picture. Okay, today we are going to learn about these structural features of plants. Now, think back to your last meal. You probably ate something that came from a plant. It could have been a grain of rice, which is from seed. You may have eaten a carrot, which is the root, like this, or chewed on celery, which is the stem, like this, or pak choy, which is the leaves, or maybe enjoy some kind of fruit, like this. Okay. Now, let's look at the general plant structure. Plants have a root system which serves to absorb minerals, ions, nutrients, and water from the soil. And it is also there to anchor the plant down and stop it falling over. The shape of this root system can vary. It may be fibrous, as in monocotyledons, or there may be one central taproot, as in dicotyledons. Nah, root structure, root itu bahasa Indonesia akar. Jadi root itu bahasa Indonesia akar. Jadi root structure has several different parts of the root. There's a root cap that protects the tip. It's got thicker cells that support the tip as it pushes its way through the soil. And next is the apical meristem, which is the region of active growth which right behind the cap. And last, and the vascular cylinder, which contains the xylem and phloem tissues. Okay, if you dissect roots, if you cut them crossway or look at a cross section, you'll see various structure, and we can see the different tissues involved. Here we have epidermal layer, and then on the outside both of the kinds, we also have an endodermal layer. That's also dermal tissue that protects the vascular cylinder from the rest of the root. And then we have broad tissues of cortex, and we have the vascular cylinder, which is contains the xylem and the phloem. The xylem and the phloem. Dicot root, it's going to have these xylem cells kind of making eggs like this in dicot root, and then phloem in between the arms of the eggs. And in the monocot root, you'll have vascular. You'll have the xylem tissues surrounding the pit and the center. And then is the middle of the phloem is tissue like this. Okay, the next part we will look at is the stem. The stem can vary greatly in size and shape. The stem supports above the ground parts of the plant. Some are herbaceous, others are woody. And it is through the stem and the substance are moved to where they are needed. Sucrose or sugar and amino acid are transported in the phloem. And water and minerals move up through the xylem. The xylem has a substance called lignin, which helps keep the stem upright, like this. And here we have cross-section of dicot. And monocot stem, these are herbaceous stem. Once the are not woody, and here you see in the vascular bundle with it. With the phloem and the xylem tissues here, in the dicot, orange and a ring around the ground tissues in the middle. Whereas the monocot, you'll see vascular bundles that are spread throughout the ground tissue rather than being organized like this. Let's learn about leaves now. The leaves are the photosynthesis happens in the chloroplast of the cells. The plants can make their own food glucose. The leaves are where plant exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide with the egg and release water vapor. Okay, the final plant parts that we are going to learn about this is the flower. Not all plants do make flower, but those that do use them for reproduction. And then pollen is produced and is fertilized the ovule. Pollen is transferred from one flower to another by pollinators such as insect or hummingbirds or the wind. The sepals protect the bud when the flower is developing. Flowers have both male and female parts. The ovary develops into the fruit. If the plant is pollinated inside the ovary are folds which become seeds. The style connects the ovary to the stigma. The stigma usually has a sticky substance so the pollen and pollinators is carrying that deposit there. The female parts of the plant together are called a pistil. The male part of the flower is the stamen. The anther is where pollen is produced and the filament holds the anther up. Okay, enough for today. Thank you for your attention. I hope you are enjoying the class. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.